TNT video. So Weber's signature move is the orbital TNT cannon with the fishing rod. It literally just takes it one click and all of his problems are solved. And you know, I wish in vanilla Minecraft it was that easy, but of course there's a few problems with this. To aim that cannon, you need an entire spreadsheet just to calculate one shot, and that's only at one set predetermined location. But even if you somehow manage to line this up correctly, first of all, the TNT hurts you just as much as it hurts your enemies, but you also just have plenty of time to react, and it's super easy to survive with just your shield. But the idea of using the fishing rod as a remote control stuck with me, and surprisingly, that part was actually a real mechanic. But what could I use instead of the TNT to make a better trap? Well, that's where this guy comes along. In the past, he's made a video on an unscripted SMP. He prepared a huge machine where he could have his friend send 1,000 armored dogs to him instantly. But I've set up a much easier design that lets me use the fishing rod instead of another player. Alright, so let me show you guys how quick it was to make this all happen on the Strength SMP. So the first thing I did was fly out to a very remote location to find some dogs and build the contraption there. Then I gathered a few wolves in the process of making a dog army, and then after that I just started breeding them as much as possible. And while I was doing that, I just kidnapped one armadillo to farm as much wolf armor as possible. And I kind of just did that cycle on repeat for about an hour. So once that was done, I just flew out of render distance so the dogs wouldn't teleport to me. Alright, let me just show you guys how quick this all came together. And the redstone, it literally took me like 10 minutes to make. It was super easy. And then the last step I just had to do was actually put all the wolves in the same 1x1 hole. I just go near the water stream, dogs come towards me, I right click as many of them as possible to make them sit, and then they kind of create a traffic jam near the hole, so I run away from them, and then the ones that aren't sitting end up teleporting to me, and then I run back in the water and start the cycle again. Real easy, didn't take long at all to put everybody together in the same spot. And yeah guys, that's the entire trap fully set up. Now before I actually use it, let me just give a real brief explanation of how it works. So the dogs are all sitting on a vine so they won't die from entity cramming damage. And then in the dispensers, I have every useful potion effect that I could think of. And then there's a delay before the back dispenser, which has an instant harming potion. When the dogs are damaged by that, they'll stand up, meaning they'll teleport to me. Yo, why are some of these dogs just like crawling around? Yo, what is this? Now the reason I can actually activate this with the fishing rod, you see when the fishing rod's thrown onto that pressure plate, it activates this piston, and whenever it deactivates, it activates the whole clock. Now to make the fishing rod a remote control